Modern-day police are equipped with high-power firearms, state-of-the-art body armor, and military-style vehicles. With so many tools in their arsenal, victims of police brutality wonder why officers feel they need to resort to deadly force.
They have no justification for using that type of excessive force and ultimately killing him. In Cincinnati, in his own words, I had no other options but to beat his face to hell.
Ron Thomas is still searching for justice after police officers were acquitted in the killing of his son Kelly. One of the officers, Jason Cinelli, is actually trying to get his job back.
The defense in the case, they said that Kelly Thomas was overly, that he was reacting in a violent way. He was a suspect on the street who was uncontrollable. But when you watch the video, it doesn't really add up.
There's still a memorial here for Kelly Thomas, more than 2 years after he was beaten by Fullerton police officers. When law enforcement uses such violent force, they usually justify it, saying that they feared for their safety. But for victims' families, that explanation doesn't make any sense.
There are studies that say that it may be safer than ever to be a police officer on the streets today.
33 police officers were killed by gunfire in 2013, according to a report by the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. That's the lowest number since 1887. In 2012, the FBI recorded 410 justifiable homicides by law enforcement. That only includes deaths where a felon was involved.
For some reason or other, the police officers always found all they have to do is say, I feared for my life, or I feared for the life of somebody in the public, and they're exonerated.
Jean Thaxton is fighting to keep police officers accountable after the shooting death of her son, Michael Naida. The married father of 4 was mistaken for a robbery suspect, and a Downey, California police officer shot him in the back with a machine gun.
People don't know that our cops are carrying machine guns. They don't know that these tanks are out here. They don't know that they're wearing heavy armor. They don't know this. They think the cops are like they were with Mayberry RFD. That's the kind of cops they think are out there, and it's not anymore.
Across the U.S., prosecutors are many times reluctant to go after abusive police officers, even when there's video evidence. Ron Thomas is a former law enforcement officer himself.
But the good officers, men and women in law enforcement, must police their own. I know.
Get out! God help me! God help me, God! Help me! Please, God!
This particular group of officers responded this way because they've never been held in check. They're too protected by the Peace Officer Bill of Rights. They're not held accountable. They can do whatever they want. And Kelly's case ultimately proves that.
The Law Enforcement Bill of Rights has shielded abusive police from laws they are paid to enforce.
They are not held to the same standards as the general public. They're just not held accountable.
Violent crime rates are down across America. Life for police officers also seems to be safer. But as cases of police abuse continue to stay high, people like Jean Thaxton and Ron Thomas will continue to fight for transparency and justice. In Fullerton, California, Ramon Galindo, RT.